Greetings interwebs, this is Jacket K, and welcome back for another edition of Game Chill. I did say I want to get back into the swing of doing these once per month. Awkwardly in the middle of Overseer October wasn't exactly the plan of how to do it, but hey, that seems to be the way that it's panning out. Now I'll go more into the stuff I have planned with the channel, but first, I did some soft resetting off screen to try to get us some of the outbreaks we needed. And you think with how much bad luck I've had off screen that we get the cipher and or Pedalittle right away. But we'll see how it pans out. I had a whole recording session where I didn't find a single one. So of course now it shows up right away. I guess all things happen for a reason. I guess the fact that I screwed up the audio for the last attempt at Game Chill happened for its own reason. So I'm not sure how well I can multitask between going through these outbreaks and talking about my plans for the channel, but I'll give it a go. For starters, as I said in the beginning, it is Overseer October, and for anyone new to the channel, Overseer October is a yearly tradition that I've started where I dedicate the month of October just to celebrating my more original creations. Overseer the Element is the main source of it, and they both start with O, so it works out. Plus it's like a little treat to myself because this is all happening during my birthday month. As a result, I don't exactly have a solid plan for uploads throughout the month. I do have a goal of wanting to do one video every week. This art prompt that I have going on online, that I was initially planning on posting on socials like Tumblr and Blue Sky. But I think I'll be doing them in YouTube community posts as well, just because I don't know how long it'll take for me to make the videos I want to make. At least by the time you're seeing this, one of them should have gone up, which was just an overview of me talking about everything I've done with my OCs between last year's Overseer October and this year's Overseer October. It was intended to be a basic video, but I hope you all had fun with it nevertheless. I ended up spending way more time with the editing of it than I was anticipating. The next main video I want to do for Overseer October is one that actually goes all into the details about the villains that make up the world. However, I'm still in the scripting phases for that, so I don't know how long it'll be before that goes live. I would love for it to be the following week, but I'm not sure if that will pan out to be the case. Do I even want to fight the Zubats? They do have a second wave, so there could be an alpha, but we're here for the ciphers, and I want to make sure I don't run out of time to talk about that. Or to catch them, I meant to say. I don't know. One of those ciphers look kind of suspicious from a distance, but it's a little tricky to tell. I assume there would have at least been a sparkle effect if any of them were actually shiny. So on top of that, you may know that I did take a bit of a break with the game design vlogs after I finished up. Oh, that was surprise alpha. Also, who sees me? And are you gonna stitch me to your friends? Hopefully not. So yeah, we'll see how it pans out. My goal is to bring that series back to once a week uploads. And since I spend a lot of time with Firebrand Dash as of late, that could be a fun way to tie into the OC October of Overseer October, considering Firebrand Dash revolves all around Sarah as a character. Huh. That was fast. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to full odds with the cipher, so I don't know how well that'll pan out. Yeah, so while I don't want to promise an exact schedule for this month, because I'm doing some more in-depth videos, and therefore can't promise exactly when they want to come out, ideally I would have a video once a week, a short once a week, and some of those art prompts that I'll share in the YouTube community tab posts various times throughout the week. As frequently as once a day, but as infrequently as once a week. Oh, I meant to throw a Pokeball to catch you, not actually fight you. But that being said, I think that covers nearly about everything that I wanted to talk about. It's kind of a shame that I had to redo the past recording. The commentary was there, and while I could have done better, it was plenty good enough, so I was half tempted. The only thing wrong with that recording session was because I didn't have things plugged in properly. My capture card didn't capture any game audio. It captured footage, my mic captured commentary, but there's no game audio. I was very tempted to just take the footage that I had and just add classical music to it for the whole run. Who knows, maybe if I find some things I really like that I still want to share, we'll have a little montage of classical music for some of those outtakes and the like. But even though like I have this brand new game that I got recently that I've really been enjoying playing, these past couple days I figured were a good time to like take things a little bit more easy, because as much as I enjoy the game, it is, let's just say, an exciting game. So maybe this is something more appropriate to play during the work weeks when I'm trying to settle in for bed, instead of like the high action racing and all that. I feel like I'm not even trying with these guys, but like, what incentive do I have to sneak up on them when the majority of them are just gonna go into an Ultra Ball just fine? Oh, I guess this outbreak's just about over anyways. I was gonna say, there isn't really anything else here that I want to do. And I do gotta dedicate some time to actually just talking and chilling. It's a little tricky because I'm not as motivated to commentate today as I was yesterday. I'm definitely as motivated to play this game as I was before. I'm just a little bit more tired, I think. So doing the whole talking while playing thing is a bit more out there. Doesn't help that I'm still writing the whole, man, I had a perfectly good gaming show recording that I would just use instead if it wasn't for the fact that there was no game audio. And I want to play this game tonight anyway, so I might as well just do a re-recording or something. Oop. Rip that Pikachu outbreak, I guess. It seems like I need a little calm moment. Oh, is that one of the Fortune Sisters? It's been a hot minute since we've run into one of them. Let's see if we can be stealthful. Be extra sneaky. Gotcha! How can you be so careless? Now engage me in one-on-one combat and allow myself to get completely obliterated by a level 90 Pokemon on my opponent's end. Oh, that's right. You're the leader, so you have 2 Pokemon, not just 1. Pardon me in advance, but I was kind of struggling to actually commentate during that battle, so I'm gonna just post-commentate this and the rest of the B-roll. We'll give the live commentary another attempt on the next time I find a mass outbreak. But essentially I was trying to say that I recently got into Sonic Crossworlds. It's kind of a surprise, I know, like... I had zero intention of actually getting the game when it was first announced and all that, but then they announced the global playtest, so like I could play the game for free over the weekend, so I just gave it a shot and I really ended up enjoying the game in that process. To the point where initially I'm just gonna wait for it to go on sale, pick it up then, because oh man, I'm still getting used to the concept that $70 is just the normal for retail games these days, but heck, I had enough money saved up for it, and I was having a really crummy week. Work has been a major strain on me as of late, and I just really needed something to treat myself to. Something to make getting through the day-to-day all the more worthwhile. And I'm happy to say that for the first time in a really long time, I don't feel buyer's remorse when buying a AAA game. Which is incredible, because this is probably the first AAA game that I've got that was, like, the new modern game prices and all that. Like, I'm already having a lot of hesitations for things like Pokemon Legends EA. I guess the fact that I still haven't got a Switch 2 is a factor in that, because because even though I could get it for Switch 1, let's be real with ourselves, Pokemon has not had a good track record with performance on Switch 1. And you know it's an issue when Mr. "Oh, the graphics and frame rates don't really matter" is kind of skeptical to pick up a Pokemon game because of how bad Scarlet and Violet were in those departments. So yeah, like, I don't even know. I keep going back and forth of if I'm going to get Legends ZA at launch, and the only reason I'm even seriously considering it is because of the fact there's a bundle where you can get a Switch 2 with Legends ZA. If there's any game that's going to sell me on a Switch 2, it's Kirby Air Riders, and that comes out in like November, so that's not too far away. I don't think I can convince myself to pick up Legends ZA for full retail price, but if I'm going to get a Switch 2 anyways, and I could just get it with the new console, two birds in one stone. Buying Legends ZA for essentially $50, probably the only way I'm going to be able to convince myself to get Legends ZA, because, like, I don't want to disrespect the new things that it's doing, but there's a lot of it that just doesn't really seem for me. If nothing else, it definitely doesn't give off the same vibes of a chill game that's essentially become my cozy game the way Legends Arceus has. Hey, Jackie K from the editing floor here. I was just going through the commentary for my previous recording session for this month's Game and Chill, and despite the lack of game audio, I think there's a portion in particular that would be perfect to fit right about here. So I'll just cut to that real quick, and we can listen to some classical music to make up for the lack of audio. You know what? I'm gonna say it, because I think it might explain everything, even if it's the hottest take I have. Pokemon has just trained me to not care about the gameplay of Pokemon anymore. Like, half the reason I was excited about Legends ZA in the first place was for the opportunity to have new shiny Pokemon to hunt for, in a gameplay style that I had as much fun with as I did Legends ZA. And yet, Legends Arceus. And yet, from what we've seen, there seems to be a lot less of an emphasis on catching Pokemon in Legends ZA. Like, there are wild areas where you can go around and catch Pokemon, but you do not feel, it doesn't look like it would be as fun to catch Pokemon in Legends ZA as it is in this game. Pokemon has just been so underwhelming from a story and gameplay sense that they kind of just trained me to not really care about those elements of Pokemon anymore, to the point where, like, I'm only really excited to, like, shiny hunt the Pokemon in them. And I couldn't convince myself to buy a DLC just to hunt for some new Pokemon, so it doesn't really feel fair to buy an entire game just to shiny hunt for Pokemon. I'm sure if they were to, like, making a really amazing Pokemon game that looked really fun to play, I wouldn't need to worry about shiny Pokemon in order to actually pick up and play a game. I guess there's also the whole economic situation we're all in, and making the jump to a whole new console is just a leap that I have not made yet. So, like, anything that's even remotely related to that is going to be a much harder sell than it used to be. So, despite the fact that I don't know where my mind was when I was saying that the story for recent Pokemon games was underwhelming, because the story was one of the saving graces of Scarlet and Violet, especially Area Zero. Watching a playthrough of the game and liking how the story panned out to the point where I wanted to see and experience Area Zero for myself was pretty much the only reason I picked up Pokemon Scarlet in the first place. But I think the overall point of Pokemon games not feeling the same to me as they used to still stands. To the point I get more enjoyment out of just shiny hunting in the games than I do actually playing the games proper. Okay, I rambled and posed for long enough. Back to your regularly scheduled live commentary. But I don't want to dwell too much on Legends Z8 because I don't want to dwell too much on pessimism. Especially when there's this whole cool game that I could be talking about that I've been playing recently instead. I'll save the rest of that talk for when we actually get into Mass Outbreaks. If there's anything that I have enough enthusiasm for that I can talk about while playing a game even when I'm a little tired, it's my experiences with Sonic Crossworlds. And that should take care of all the satchels. Hopefully my plan to post-commentate works out, and that we have better luck with the live commentary next time. Okay everyone, I found another Mass Outbreak that maybe has what we're looking for. I haven't had too much luck here, to be honest. It feels like I've run into unknown outbreaks more often than I have Petalittles. I don't think, like, out of all the play sessions I've had this month, well, let's say in the past 2 months, just because I don't even know if I've had more than one play session this month. Point being, it's been a very long time since I've seen a Petalittle outbreak, it feels. And I think I've come across like 3 shiny unknowns before I've come across a single Petalittle outbreak. Well, there's no unknown outbreak here. And while I could go back to resetting, it's already 10:45, and with how hard it's been for me to sleep lately, I definitely don't want to stay up past 11. So we'll clear out this outbreak, I'll talk about Sonic Crossworlds as I promised, and we'll call it a night. Hopefully I can do another Game and Chill earlier rather than later on in the month. Or a stream, yeah. I forgot, there's so many video plans I already have for this month, so maybe I'll actually get back into streaming and we can play more Pokemon Legends then. Like, it feels like the streams have been doing better than the Game and Chills anyways, so I don't know, we'll play it by ear. So I don't think there's literally anything I really want from this outbreak outside the Cyndaquils. So I'm just zooming around and playing things by ear. But yeah, Sonic Crossworlds has been a pretty fun time. The only downside is that I have had to take a little bit of a break from it because I've been doing a lot online, and it has been fun. But like, last night and the night before when I've been online, it's been a little too much for me, to the point where I think I need to take a bit of a break from it. I feel like I've been ranking up fairly decently, even though I'm losing more and more. So I think it's to the point where I'm too high rank, and everyone's just better than me. It doesn't help that I'm, like, finally, like, the item balance of the game is finally starting to catch up to me, where it feels like the past few play sessions when I played online, I've been swarmed by items. I can count the number of times that I've been bombarded by monster trucks on one hand at least. And it's just so ironic because during the global play, maybe a little during the global play test, but after buying the game and playing online for the first few days, I did not have. Maybe I could think of specific examples if I think hard, but overall, I don't recall having any issues with the item balance early on in my play session. So I couldn't even tell you what went wrong now, but I figured that's more of a sign than anything that I could play something a little more relaxing before bed, like this game, and be all the better for it. And yeah, I wanted to do this Game and Chill session much sooner on in the day, but I'll admit, I spent a lot of my time after work today, like, prepping for the OC October art prompt, because I've been so swamped last week and this week that I had no time to prepare in advance, so I just, like, made On top of that, I knew this week was going to be pretty busy in general because, one, an Extra Life charity stream that I like to watch annually is happening this weekend. Two, out of the blue, at the very end of last weekend, certain members of my family came up to me and were like, hey, you know that wood splitting that we do to get firewood to keep our house warm during the winter? I want to get all that done this weekend. And like, okay, if I knew we were so urgently behind, I would have tried harder to make time to help you with all that on previous weekends. But no, we really have to worry about this on the most inconvenient weekend possible. I brought up the stream I wanted to watch thing, but I was too embarrassed to bring up, like, all the video plans I had. They wouldn't respect my video works anyways. Oh, this is a fun feature. All I'm doing is holding down L. Man, I guess when you put 400 plus hours into a game, you just find all the quirks with it. Or at least running into the side quirks is inevitable. Now, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I could go on, but there's a lot going on this week, so I was hoping to just get everything done earlier on in the week, so I wouldn't have to worry about it during the weekend, because my weekend is gonna be swamped in a desperate effort to try to get everything done that I need to get done. So, even if it comes at the cost of, like, having a little less time to relax during the work week, to get some of the stuff I want to do this month taken care of in advance. And that was really the last of it for Cyndaquil. That felt like it went by pretty fast. You know, sure. Grab the satchel while I'm here. Why is that text for that satchel in particular? Am I crazy? Yeah, that's like a completely different font and everything from Rocco's satchel. How and why? I don't even know if I still need to do things with Perugly. I assume because it's in my party that I still do, but I don't really know for sure. I should check his Pokédex entry before I get too caught up in all this. Yeah, I just need to fight them and do Double Edge 10 more times, and that's it. Yeah, I wish I could give you this in-depth review of what makes Sonic Crossworlds so fun, but I don't know what to tell you, it's just fun. And it's like the most fun I've had with a retail game in a hot minute. I think it just comes down to the gameplay being really solid. That's not the only thing I like about it, but I think that's the thing that just makes it so incredible and worthwhile to me. I am kind of hoping that, like, it catches on and I can actually play it with other people, because it's been a while since I've actually played a game online with others. To the point that I'm kind of craving the social interaction. There's been like a good handful of games that I've gotten with the hopes of, oh hey, new horde. Like I was saying though, there's a good handful of games that I went into with the hopes that I'd be able to play them with my friends, and it just never panned out. But then it's like, of course, now I'm a Steam player and I'm just don't really own the same games as other people do. So those opportunities seem to come up even further and less in between. I do have hopes for the cross-play abilities of Sonic Crossworlds, though. I don't know any friends that have the game yet, but the fact that, like, I could play with them regardless of what console they own the game on does give me hopes that I'll actually be able to play it with them someday. It'd be nice to play online with other people besides the general, besides randos, because I think like I mentioned, I'm kind of worried I'm getting to the point where they're getting to be too good for me. We'll see how things pan out after I give the online a little bit of a break. If nothing else though, there's at least the assurance that there's still plenty of single players. Shoot. Sorry, I hesitated because the first word that came to mind is content, and I've been trying to avoid the C word. The point being, like, I haven't even done all the single-player Grand Prix races yet, and I'm sure that doing those would give me more practice on the courses, because that's like that's part of the problem that I've had online, where, like, I get stuck on courses that I'm not familiar with, and I just end up falling off the ledges a lot. So I'm hoping, like, more practice on those stages would help as well. Okay, good. The outbreak's still going. I thought I saw the rain has ended message, and I got a little worried that, like, I got to did all my effort to get to this outbreak was not. Oh. Come back here, Cyndaquil! And I haven't even talked about the combo I've done with it. For one, my main, ironically, is... well, I'm saying ironically. But I'm not sure if it's a surprise to people or not, but my main so far has been Cream the Rabbit. She is like my second favorite Sonic character after Tails, but I don't know, lately it feels like she's been my favorite Sonic character. Maybe it's just the fact that it's been like at least a whole decade, if not longer, since she's been playable in a game. At least a game that I can actually have access to. Thanks Sonic Dream for being the first game with a playable Cream the Rabbit in literal decades. And yet you put yourself on exclusively on Apple Arcade when I stopped owning Apple devices oh so long ago. So, like, I can play the Tails in practically any Sonic game that's not a mainline adventure these games. I should say, in pretty much any Sonic spin-off. But this is like the first time, even in spin-off games, that I got a chance to play as Cream the Rabbit in a long time. And that's what it boils down to. Plus, I think as the world becomes more and more of a cruel place, I find myself leaning towards, like, the kind-hearted, sincere characters more and more. Speaking of cruel fates, where the heck is this satchel? If the fog of war would just, like, help me actually get to the frickin' satchel instead of just saying, oh no, you are going the wrong way. Maybe I'll actually be able to end the video sometime soon. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell from Soul being my second favorite OC and Lily being one of my favorite Pokemon characters, but I have a soft spot for the character trope of just a kind-hearted, wholesome kid. Characters like Cream and Rabbit kind of just inspired me to be a kinder person myself. As for how I play the character, I'm not sure if I do her kind sincereness justice, because I feel like my strategy, or my build, is built off pure chaos. I call the strat the spin to win strategy. I go with Cream as a character, though I don't think that part really makes much of a difference. I use the extreme gear, and I make my build specialize in doing air tricks really fast, and there's this passive ability where when you go to do a drift, you like turn into a mini cyclone that like hits other enemies, or hits other racers if you bump into them while boosting. That part at least off balances the fact that Cream is a pretty lightweight character. But just so I can embrace in the full chaos of spin to win, I also have that gear that lets you not take or not lose rings when you hit a wall. If you can tell, I'm just buying for time to finish my story at this point. It's been a while since I've done a flyby along the outbreak, so why not? Maybe we'll find a shiny alpha. Did I say outbreaks when I meant alphas? Whatever. We're looking for sparklies, wherever we can find them. So yeah, I just, like, go into a race, and I spin to win. Thinking more about it, I'm not sure if there's really any more I can say than that. Maybe if I stalled long enough, I could, like, put footage on screen of the one of the few times I've actually won a race. I would just show the clip, but unfortunately I struggle a bit with actually capturing audio for Steam. So like sometimes there's game audio, sometimes there's not. I'm pretty sure that video in particular is one that doesn't have game audio. So I'm kind of just at a loss. You don't have space in your satchel for that item? Oh, I'm just freaking maxed out on orange berries. Oops. At least that's something I can alleviate for relatively quickly. I don't know why I don't want to end the video. I feel like I've mentioned everything when it comes to spin to win, but for some reason I feel like in the post-commentary, I explained all of that much more... I feel like I explained the whole spin to win strat so much better in the previous recording session, but I'm not sure if I actually did it better, or it just took me a longer time because I did more of a worse job with it. It really could go either way. Speaking of which, are any of these Patriarchs sleeping? I'm pretty sure that is something I still need to do for the Pokedex. Wow, I'm really just stalling for time today, aren't I? Ah, of course. I thought I could actually make progress on that. Dang it, something tells me that you shouldn't have been able to home that easy. Frick. Well, I guess I'll have to get those barb roasts another day. Oh! 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 What is it? Shoot, it's almost 11 o'clock and I'm freaking out. I'm being way too loud. What even sparkled? Oh, it's a Kroglunt. Hey? I don't think I got that one in general, and the fact I got it outside of a Massive Mouse outbreak is kind of cool. Can I just airball you? You know what? This video needed a closer. I think that's as good of a closer as we're gonna get. Didn't even finish checking to see if we had any shiny alphas out there. It's fine. There's also the fact that, like, now that I actually have the full game and not just a network test, I'm able to play a lot more of the single player, and I've been having fun with that as well. Like, you've probably seen a lot of those compilations of the character interactions online, but it's so fun to run into them in a natural environment. It's weird, I wouldn't consider myself a Sonic fan, and yet I keep up with Sonic stuff enough to pretty much get where all the character interactions are coming from. So that makes witnessing all their exchanges all the more fun. Plus the gameplay itself is pretty fun too. Though, now that I've actually had the time and not have to worry about the game... But now that I actually own the game and don't have to worry about the network test ending, I have been experimenting a little bit with carts. And when I say experimenting, I mean I did one Grand Prix with Tails in a car instead of my Cream the Rabbit combo. Like, I find her personality to be inspiring. She reminds me of the childhood that I feel like I've lost. And, as I become a more jaded adult. It also helps that, like, hearing her say, Oh, we'll do better next time. Good job, everyone, regardless of when you win or lose. That makes playing online significantly more enjoyable for me, because, like, if you do really badly because you get completely owned by all the players much more skilled than you, then at least you get a good old, oh, everyone did it. I'm glad everyone had fun. That just alleviates the blow of getting completely obliterated a bit for me. Oh, has that particle effect of the leaves always been a thing? Or am I only just now noticing it? Oh, cool. Great. It attracted attention to the alpha as well. Oh, I didn't even realize that all I had to do for Honchkrow was catch a couple more alpha Pokemon. I guess things happen for a reason. The one downside is that people might clown on you for hitting the walls and falling off gaps all the time, but like, if I'm not speeding, if I'm not constantly moving, then I'm not spinning the wind proper. That has made me prefer a lot of the more beginner tracks and kind of made some of the more later ones, especially those that I haven't played in Grand Prix on my own time yet, a lot more daunting. Like, I hate whenever we go to Kronos Island. That feels like a death trap, even when I do try to slow down for the slopes. And, like, I don't know if White Space is much better, but I think I've been getting a little more used to that one. And that's a cute photo. So speaking of which, I guess I probably showed them in the videos or on stream or something, but let's take a look at some of the other shinies, because it's been a little bit since I've actually... How come I don't even remember the Lucky Lucky? Sorry all, I'm just you can tell I'm more in the vibe of just chilling in the game than I am talking, but hopefully we had some fun together. I think just hanging out with these two shiny unknowns is a good way to end things off. So, thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Game & Chill. Hopefully we get to meet again next month for some more Pokemon adventures. Actually, I think the next video would be up in November, so like, unless I do some shiny hunting on my own time, I guess we're not getting all the Hisui shinies before Legend ZA comes out. It's crazy, because I could have sworn I've had plenty of time to do so. Maybe we'll just go to... I won't get Legend ZA until I get a shiny of each of the Hisui Pokemon. That is a valid excuse not to get the game, right? Either way, I am Jackie K, and I'll see you all later. Take care.